everyone, and welcome back to Art with Miss Choate. And today what we're going to be doing, we're actually going to be using a very simple coffee filter. Now, the circle ones are technically better for this project, but I don't have that type of coffee filter. I have this, so I'm going to make it work. So you're going to need a coffee filter, you're going to need one of these pipe cleaners, you know, these fuzzy guys, any color, and we're going to be making a person out of this. So it's going to kind of be like their dress, like they're a dancer, or whatever you want to think about it. But we're going to be making this coffee filter all beautiful and colorful with washable markers and some water, and we're going to see what we can make. So go grab a coffee filter and a pipe cleaner, and let's get started. So here we have our coffee filter, our washable markers. Do make sure you're thinking thoughtfully about your colors, because when we spray it with water, they will blend together. So you want to make sure that the colors, when they blend together, don't make brown. So remember, if they're looking at each other from across the color wheel, then they'll turn to brown. So here, I'm going to make a quick little color wheel so we kind of get the idea. So we have our yellow and our red make orange, and our yellow and our blue make green, and there's two shades of green here, and then our purple and our red, our blue and our red make purple. So here we go, we got a little color wheel going. So if these two were put together, they'd kind of make a brownish color. So this is kind of in the center, so I'm not going to use it. I'm also not going to use black today. So I'm thinking about this. So I might want to use half of the wheel or the other half. So I'm going to go ahead and stick with these colors for today. Now, since I'm using a cone shape, I'm going to have to do a little bit to both sides. If you're doing one of the circle ones, they can just open on up. And you can think about lines, you can think about design. You could just keep it abstract. Now, this is going to be kind of like the person's outfit or the dress. So I'm just going to do some wavy lines, and we'll be cutting the top off a little bit so the pipe cleaner can fit through. We want to make sure we're putting enough pigment on the coffee filter so when it gets water, it'll bleed together. And we're going to fill up our coffee filter. Now, if you leave some area blank, it will have the water let it bleed. Now my coffee filter is a little thick, so it might need a little bit more pigment. We're going to do it to both sides. Now you could do it the same or different, that's up to you. Remember to take your time. I'm doing a little bit more blue and purple on this side. Now we're going to go get that water, and we're going to drop water onto this. Now you may want to put this on top of a cookie tray so that way you don't get your surface messy. I'm going to let that water run. You can see how it's starting to bleed. You even got a little bit on the table, so remember, that's why I said do that. Put it on a cookie sheet. I could even, you can play with how you put your water. Now remember, it is a coffee filter, so what would happen if you let it run the natural way? It will get on your hands, so just be careful. There we go, and I like how that's starting to bleed. Now you could set it in the oven for a few minutes, just at like a low temperature, or you can set it out in the sun. So now let's let it dry. If you're letting it dry in the oven, make sure you're doing this with a parent. Just keep checking it. you know, it's still pretty wet, so I'm going to let it sit a little bit more to dry out. Or like I said, put it in the sun, and in about 15 minutes it'll be dry. While my coffee filter is drying, you're going to be taking 2 pipe cleaners now. If you want to make them the color of whatever color you want, I'm going to be doing just 2 that go along with the color of my dress. This is going to be the body. So I'm going to have the purple as our head. So you're not going to pinch it, you're just going to leave a little oval. That's going to be the head. And you're going to give it one little twist just to keep that head shape. You can even reshape it just a little bit. Now we're going to take our other one and we're going to wrap it around. So these are going to be the arms, and then this is going to end up being the body. So we can wrap it together a little bit. We're going to twist it for the body. So here's the arms. We can kind of flatten it out a little bit now. Make it. You can see here's our legs, our arms. If your arms don't come out perfectly the same, we could cut one to make them look a little bit better. But now they're ready to put on their clothes. So once it's done in the oven, we're going to show you how to do that. So here we go. Our filter is out of the oven, nice and dry. Our body is ready. So we're going to be cutting a little hole in the top. So I'm going to go ahead, pinch it, cut off a little bit. Now we're going to pass our person through. Now I might have done that a little bit big, but that's why we're going to be using some string or a rubber band, and you can kind of adjust it. And now you can kind of adjust it if you want to do a little pleat. Now remember, if you're doing this with a circle, it's going to come out differently than how I have it. I kind of like that. So you go ahead and play with it. Once you figure out how you want your dress to look, you're going to be taking and putting something around that waist to give it some definition. I'm going to do a purple rubber band because I like that it's going along with my color scheme. Now you could also do a piece of string, a piece of yarn. But have fun with it. Make it your own. I want you to be creative with this. I'm going to put her hands on her hips. And maybe put them down in front of her. And you know what? I decided I think her arms are too long, which is what I said a little bit ago. I'm just going to cut some of that off. I think that was bothering me. I want to make sure my elbows and my arms are the same length, so I just have them meet each other. And there we go. Now she's got her hands on her hips and we can have her even stand up. There we go. So I hope you had fun today making our little dancer, our little person out of coffee filter. I know some of you guys had requested another foil person, so I felt like this was very similar to that. So I hope you had fun and enjoyed yourself, and remember, if you liked it, please hit that like button, subscribe so you always get notified when I post a new video, and comment below with what you'd like to see in the future because I always listen. So I hope to see you tomorrow with Art with Miss Choate. Bye!